seen. I didn't get to see Sublime. Wish I could have saw Sublime once, but I never got to see them. Did not get to see Nirvana. I had a chance. The bummer thing is I had heard that Nirvana, before Kurt Cobain committed suicide, I had heard that Nirvana was supposed to play Lollapalooza coming up. There was a Lollapalooza coming up, and I heard that they were going to play, and it was going to be later on in the year, and some friends of mine got Nirvana tickets to a club in Chicago, and my friend said, "Hey, you got to come with us. We bought you a ticket. We bought you a ticket to see Nirvana." And I was doing something. And I was like, "Man, I can't make it. I can't go." I said, "But I've already got plans to go see them when they play this festival this summer." And then before any of that happened, Kurt Cobain committed suicide, and I never got to see Nirvana, and I really wanted to. And my buddies that went would still rub it into me. They after that, like a buddy of mine, he took it, like Kurt Cobain threw his red sweater out into the crowd, and everybody just ripped it to shreds. And a buddy of mine got a big handful of Kurt Cobain's sweater that he wore that night, and he still had it, and he brought it, he'd show it to me. He's like, "Hey man, this is what you missed," and he had a big handful of Kurt Cobain's sweater. I was like, "Oh man."
And you could sell that for like $800 on eBay right now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure that was probably meant a lot to him. He probably still got it.
I remember I got to see Cypress Hill, which was the most fucking insane mosh pit I had ever fucking been in, was Cypress Hill. To the point I had to, okay, so we were there. It was the mosh pit for Cypress Hill. I was in the mosh pit with this girl who I saw
Cypress Hill too. Yeah. They were at Lollapalooza.
So there was this girl from another high school, and I ended up hooking up with her at the concert. Not hook up like the kids say hook up these days. I'm talking like we got together and actually dated for like a week. But I was with her, and we were in the mosh pit, and she was getting pummeled, dude, in the mosh pit. Me, you know what, bigger guy, I can throw my fucking punches in the mosh pit. But she was getting pummeled because she was this tiny little thing. So I was like, all right, let me get you out of this mosh pit. So I'm trying to get her out of the mosh pit, and the security guards, they couldn't get to her in time, because they patrol the mosh pits and stuff. And so this one dude who was fucking high off his fucking ass, I don't know what he was on, but he would not let her out of the mosh pit. Like, I'm like telling him, let her through, she needs to get out of here. And he's like, fuck you. So I fucking kicked him in his fucking head. I didn't know him then, but I channeled Chief for this 1 minute when I was young. Before, it was like future self going back and saying, what would Chief do? And I kicked this dude in the head, and he goes down bloodied. And I just got her out, and I looked at the security guard. I said, yeah, there's a dude in there. His face is fucking bloodied. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. He's in mosh pit, whatever, That was fucking nuts. I saw Live, great show by Live. I saw The Cult, Incubus, Linkin Park, Good Charlotte, which me and a buddy of mine are in the Good Charlotte music video for Festival Song for 0.5 seconds. Our claim to fame, 0.5 seconds in the music video for Festival Song.
I'm in a Pantera home video concert supposedly somewhere. They filmed the concert I was at for that.
Who else played those? There was so many bands that I got to see at HF Festival. And then I remember going to the Vans Warped Tour one year. And the only ones I knew that were there, because Vans Warped Tour was a lot more of the punk skater bands. But I did see Alien Ant Farm. And I was they were playing their songs. I'm like, fuck you! Play Smooth Criminal! I'm like, fuck you, play the Michael Jackson song! Oh man! But I remember, one of the best ones I ever saw. I went with a buddy of mine, Paul, and we went to it. First, we went to the 930 Club in DC, and we saw SR-71, and they were kind of like that alternative, pop music, pop rock, but they were really fucking cool. To the point, after their song, they came down. They signed autographs for everybody that was waiting in line, and then they were at HF Festival, and they had these tents set up where the bands would chill out, and you could just come up and get autographs. And we went up there, and we were like, yeah, we saw you at the 930 Club, and they looked and said, you were the two guys that waited forever, right? You were the last ones in line to get your tickets or whatever. And we were like, yeah, and they sat there and bullshitted with us for a couple minutes because they remembered how long we waited to get their autographs. So that was really fucking cool, man. I'm telling you, music is UGA is just it's not the same as it was, man.
Oh, going to concerts isn't even the same as it.
No.
Like you used to be able to do. It used to be so much more fun when you could get away with a lot more concerts than you can now. Too many people have done too much crazy bullshit in big public places for anybody to get away with anything.
I still say you and me, Barry Manilow. It's got to happen. You and me.
I did see Bob Dylan and Paul Simon together. That was awesome. I saw one time at Alpine Valley up in Wisconsin, which it holds like 40,000 people, I think. I saw the Clash of the Titans tour, which was Alice in Chains opening up the whole show on their first album, and then and we were like 10 rows from Alice in Chains. Like Lane Staley was like, there was nobody in the pavilion, nobody even heard of Alice in Chains, and me and my brother and a friend of his were sitting there in the middle, like 10 rows away from Lane Staley, and he's like singing, like basically just singing right to us while we're sitting there, and then after them was I think it was Megadeth was next. Megadeth opened, and then Slayer, and then Anthrax closed the show.
That's a good show.
The original Anthrax with Joey Belladonna too. The old it was on the Persistence of Time tour. So it was Anthrax was on Persistence of Time. I think Megadeth was on Rust in Peace, and Slayer was on Seasons in the Abyss tour. And it's like, man, that was you want to talk about a violent pit? The most violent thing I've ever seen in my life was like 30,000 people, the whole fucking lawn of Alpine Valley, the entire thing, just fucking dust churning up, like dust devils. People just fucking stomped the shit out of that lawn, and it was just violence everywhere, just complete violence, madness. You'd never seen anything like the Slayer pit. Slayer's the band people yell at other bands. Like, yeah. That's how intense the Slayer show is. People yell Slayer at other bands. And one of the funniest things I ever saw was at a Pantera show, somebody yelled Slayer at Phil Anselmo, and Dimebag Darrell started playing the Slayer tune, and they started really playing Slayer, and it was fucking awesome.
Well, let's switch gears here. To talk, we got to get our GTA talking in, and this week is actually going to be really interesting because not only are we going to talk GTA, but I'm in there now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm in there. So this weekend, and I got to give a huge thanks to my beautiful, loving other half, my beautiful wife, who paid for half of it. I now have, sitting here next to me, a Beast God computer machine. I was able to get a CyberPower PC with a Intel i7 core, massive amounts of processing power, massive amounts of memory, great graphics card to where I can now do GTA RP. You've been hearing us talk about it for like a year, and I'm finally in there. On a public server, which is fucking chaos.
Yeah, we've got some plans for that coming up too. That's going to be fun. If we get the stuff going that we want to get done with it, it's going to be cool because it'll be more like a show, similar along the lines of what Djibouti does, but like our own thing, of course. But the streams will be more like a show than just a streaming thing.
Yeah.
We'll package it together more like that, so it's more entertaining.
So I've done 2 streams with this new machine. One was Worldcraft. That was the first night I did World of Warcraft, and that was just to kind of test the computer out, just see how it runs. I did some classic dungeons and stuff like that, just to kind of see how it was. And what I really enjoyed was I've played World of Warcraft for a long time. I just went back into it. This is the first time, like maybe a year and a half, that I went back into it. Really weird that I'm still in the same guild. They hadn't kicked me out. And somehow they made me a guild officer. I'm like, I haven't played in a year and a half. How the fuck am I a guild officer? But to actually be able to play it with the graphics where they're supposed to be, and no lag, and no, dropping frame rates, felt really good. So then I was like, I'm going to get on GTA and try that out. And being new to it, I can't get on a whitelist server yet. I have to get on a public server and just play with the public. And the public are not the best RPers. Let's put it that way. They're not. They're not your upper tier RPers. You get a couple every once in a while. But a lot of, like we used to, like Djibouti used to find out when we would watch them, a lot of kids on the public servers.
Yeah.
And they don't adhere to RP a lot. They constantly are calling out, fail RP, fail RP. Me, I'm in there. I'm in character the whole time I'm in there. If I'm on the server, I'm in character the whole fucking time.
I don't think there's anything you can do that's too ridiculous as long as you maintain character.
Yeah.
If you don't start laughing, if you don't crack, if you stick to your story, no matter how ridiculous it fucking is, that's good RP. Like, if you could get through it. Look at what there's nobody in the world could do what Bill Ding does. Bill Ding dives off overpasses and survives and runs away. And will roll a bus off a fucking overpass or the highway and just drive it up off a mountain. And he doesn't, and he comes back to life. I mean, and he's the most ridiculous dude. He's almost like a spirit. He's like the spirit of chaos. He's like almost like Loki. And he's in that world, and everyone knows who he is, and they respect his RP because Milton does not fucking crack. Never. Never cracks.
And I think people are, like, the people on this server that I'm on, I've been on there, I was on there 2 nights ago, and then I've been on there twice today. I got on this morning, and I was actually on right before we started the show tonight. I popped on there for about an hour just to see if I can get some RP. I didn't stream today. I streamed the other day. My mic's a little off on that one. My mic is bad in that stream. I admit that. I'm trying to find the right balance for my mic. Apparently, in-game it's fine. Nobody's, like, this server, if your microphone is bad, they freaking yell at you. Apparently, I guess my microphone's not bad in-game. It's just on the stream. So it might be something with my calibration with my OBS for that. But Astrid Walker, my character, she lives. And Chief was like, I showed you a picture this morning. You were like, she's got a motorcycle now?
Yeah.
So I'm RPing that because on this server there's no money. Like, there is no money. Like, you role play, like, you type / and text, like, oh, I give you, like, $1 for this or something like that. There's no, like, actual money. Very basic server. So Astrid's player model and everything very basic right now. If I ever get on a whitelist server with some more things to it, I'll be able to really make her what I want her to be. I like the avatar that I've got for her, but there's, like, things I want to add to it. But, so, people are finding out exactly who she is, and she's getting a little... Like, tonight, there was a guy that, when I was playing tonight, first of all, tonight there was, like, one cop on the server, so all these little kids are just going nuts because there's, like, one cop. And I found this one guy I found another female character in the game. I was like, oh, cool, another female character. Of course, dude's not doing any voice. It's a male voice coming out of that chick. And I was like, what's your name? He's like, oh, Adam. I'm like, your character's name is Adam? I broke character for a second. I was like, your character's name is Adam? He goes, oh, people were like, yeah, what's your character's name? So I picked something I could remember, which was my own name. I'm like, well, my name is Astrid. My character's name is Astrid. And it's funny because I'm doing, it's me, but I'm doing a voice, I'm making I'm kind of softening my voice up a little bit to be more feminine for this character because I want it to be good RP. So this morning when I'm playing, I ended up getting shot. I was standing outside the convenience store talking to other role players, and some dude just came and sniped me for no apparent reason, just shot me, right? So the EMS comes on, and the EMS is like a teenager, right? Takes me to the hospital. And the EMS is like, doctor, yeah, she was shot in the chest, in the abdomen, wanted to get her out. All of a sudden you hear, my God, she got shot. Well, let's take a look here. Let's see what's happened with her. And the guy was like, the guy doing the EMS was like, oh my God, your voice is like heaven. So tonight, Adam, the other chick, she got shot. Or no, she got ran over. So I got her, and I took her to the hospital, and I was like, my God, my name is Doc Brown. I'm the doctor. Let's take a look at your hair now. And he was cracking, like, he broke character. He cracking up, like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm doing Dr. RP. And I told my wife this. I'm like, watching Djibouti and Milton and Disby and all these guys for so long, like, I've picked up things. I've picked up RP things, and I'm bringing them to the server, but these people have no fucking clue it's coming.